Somebody comes over to me today, asks me, Rabbi, why is it in a Brit Milah do they make Besamim? Why is it do they make Besamim in the Brit Milah? So I saw a Midrash. Midrash says, Avraham Avinu, what did he do? It was a time where the mitzvah came along, and everybody around him, his whole household, wanted to do that mitzvah. And that day he did many britot. He did many brit milahs for the people, and he had the foreskin, and he put it outside. The sun came, and the sun, what happens? In essence, the sun, it can cause a bad stench to the what? To the foreskin that was there. And yet, the Midrash says that Hashem says this smell is reach nichoach. It's such a great smell. When I smell this smell, it causes me to remember, it's the most amazing smell ever. And therefore, in order to commemorate that, to remind Hashem that moment when they all did Brit Milah at that moment, you make the Besamim, it's commemorating that Maaseh where it's the greatest thing, where the greatest smell. But I want to tell you something. Any mitzvah that we do, you have to understand, causes the greatest smell to Hashem. And the greatest of the greats is Talmud Torah Kenei Kulam. A person has to know, he has to get it in his mind. Talmud Torah Kenei Kulam. Don't sleep on it. There's going to come a time where a person after 120, he has to live. People always ask, how you make a living? People ask, how you make a living? How you make a living? And I ask, how you making an after living? You have to store up Torah and mitzvot. You have to. Olam haba, you have to understand, it's nitzchiyut. It's eternity. It's not a joke. What's 70, 80, 90, even 120 years to compare to eternity? Rabbi Dessler, when he explains eternity, you have to understand what's eternity. Imagine right now, whichever room you're in, think about the room that you're sitting in right now, or even if you're in a car listening. Imagine right now, wherever you are, right? You have a bird. You have one bird, and he takes a poppy seed, a sesame seed. And this bird, it takes him 1,000 years, 1,000 years to go get the sesame seed, put it in. Go to the sesame, put it in. Go to the sesame. Is there an end to that or no? What do you think? Will he eventually fill up? This bird lives forever. Will he eventually fill up the sesame seeds? Yes or no? How long will it take? A million years? A billion years? A zillion years? Eternity is greater. Eternity means that you live forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And with the Torah mitzvot that you have in this world, that's what stands for you forever. You have to understand that. It's not a joke. It's a real thing. Eternity is real. You're living eternity now. You're creating your eternity now. Whatever you stock, whatever you prepare, whatever you put aside, that is yours forever and ever and ever and ever. And that's it. So Hashem says, I gave you a mouth. You know how hard it is to talk? Think about it for a second. When you say the word vayedaber, you know what's working right now in your mouth? Say it. Vayedaber. Every one of your mouth. You know how hard that is to make? Imagine if the brain has to think to make it. But Hashem made it so easy for us to talk. You know why? Because He wants to use your words so you can speak the B'nai Torah. That's Chavetz Chaim. I'm telling you, Chavetz Chaim what he says. He made it easy for us to talk so we can talk in an hour. How much Torah can we spread in an hour? You know how much? Every single word of Torah that you say, you're creating a malach. Creating a malach. It's not a joke. Every mitzvah that you do, you're creating a malach. Everything that you do, you're creating. And therefore, don't take it lightly. 120 years go by like this, by the way. Don't think, I'm only 18, I'm 19, I'm 20. Go ask anybody that's older than you. 40, 50, 60, 70. Go ask him, how does year by? How do the years go? They'll tell you, a snap of a finger. I remember 30 years ago. I remember 40 years ago. I remember 50 years ago. It goes by in seconds. Before you know it, you're 75 years old. And therefore, Rabotai, take advantage. Remember, we're here. We got to stock up. We got to prepare. And I want to tell you something. Hashem loves us. He wants to give us barakah. Do His will. Do His ratzon. do what He wants us from us. And He'll take care of His part. He'll give you everything. You think it's hard for Him to make you, to give you anything? You think it's hard for Hashem? In 1 second He touches you, boom. You're the next level in every single which way or form. He'll give you this amazing. Do His ratzon. Do His will. Have a great day.